So first and 10 now from the 30. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. Now it's Roethlisberger, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54. He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Check, 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 check. He's checking.
They'll go for it with Bell. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
Okay, we got 4. We got 4. Let's go, fellas. We got 4 down. Let's go.
The 4th down run successful.
14.
Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right.
Tight. Blue 15.
4 down. 4 down.
On 1st down, Wilson. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
Friday.
4 down. Check.
Tight. Green 15.
They run it with Larson. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage.
3 down.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Hey, over here.
We got 4.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Tight end right.
Tight. Green 80.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down.
Green 80 solid.
Now it's Wilson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
We've got a second here to assess Pittsburgh's last season as their offense comes onto the field. You know, for most of the folks that are fans of the Steel City, they're probably saying, wow, this was tough. But, hey, they were 9-6-1. The thing is, expectations there are playoffs every year.
You're right, and to show that, they haven't been under 500 since 2003. It's a very consistent franchise. But remember how the season began. Le'Veon Bell, once again holding out. They expected him to show up and play. That didn't happen. Then at the end of the year, Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger. What's going to happen there? So they bookended their season with controversies. In the middle, did not play up to their standards. I still thought they were going to win the AFC North. Turned out Baltimore closed them out. They've got to do some retooling in the offseason.
And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Connor, of course, missed the final month of the season with that ankle injury. And too bad, because before that, he was well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, but he finished with 973.
And he was definitely more than adequate in place of Le'Veon Bell because he caught the ball out of the backfield too. 55 catches, 13 total touchdowns. James Conner showed in preseason that he could play, then carried it throughout the regular season as well.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Roethlisberger throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Double bump.
They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger.
Let's go.
Flushed out right. And that is going to be incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Well, off topic, but we'd be remiss if we didn't point out what else was happening Super Bowl weekend. The Madden 19 Club Championship, second major this season, 2 more to follow. And our winner, Pavin, representing the Oakland Raiders. He took down the Vikings, and your favorite, Charles, IB Strafen. He had to reach for the ibuprofen after a 38-24 beat down in the final.
Well, you know he was representing the Oakland Raiders. The Vikings went down, and they went down hard. That's how the Raiders do it.
How about Pavin, though, wins $100,000 for his efforts, also won Super Bowl tickets for the next day, unselfishly gave them to his father and his brother.
How about that? That's pretty cool. Congratulations, Pavin. Way to go.
4 down, 4 down. Shot. 380.
98's the mic. It's going to be a long day.
380 solid.
On second down, Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Watch 84.
Shot. 280. Gun.
I got one.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead.
Let's get
And
it.
a
Let's get it.
tough
Let's get
ask
it.
here. They're going to go
18,
for it
18.
on 4th down and 9.
To the right. Move.
Shot. 190.
Even. 4 down.
Hey, easy. Check 51. Check 51.
You go tight. You got tight. You got
Shot.
tight.
They'll try and throw for it here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
4 down.
3, fellas, we got 3.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger going up top, and it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
We got 3.
2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he'll go down at the 28. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you...
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, 28 yards. And the Steelers have taken a first quarter lead. So they went to the ground game on third, hoping to pick up the first. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having a pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, third down. They don't care that it's third and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call a running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up because I haven't met offensive lineman yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
As Seattle makes their way back out here, Charles, let's take a little deeper dive as they go into the offseason, what they need to do. They led the NFL in rushing yards. You talked about it. They ran the football well. Where do they need to improve? And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Sean Davis with a pick, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Shift.
Kings.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump-off. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it's a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Looking for children at the stadium should go to the nearest guest service area.
Bow.
Double tight. 3 down.
8.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On third down, Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down. The second-year man, Smith-Schuster, coming off a terrific season. 111 catches, over 1,400 yards, and 7 scores as well.
And he could very well slide into the #1 receiver role depending on how events transpire in this offseason. But even if that doesn't happen, already has universal respect within his own locker room, was named this year's team MVP for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Roethlisberger will throw. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Bobby Wagner in there to drop him for a loss on the play. On second down, Roethlisberger. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with third and still 9 to go. The Steelers, of course, had all the questions lingering with Le'Veon Bell. Tip of the cap to James Conner. He really has filled in nicely.
He prepared himself as if he were going to be the starter right from week 1, and I got to see him in preseason, and you saw a little bit of everything. His ability to run inside, also run.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Vance McDonald, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Wilson and the
14,
Seahawks
14.
take over now, 1st and 10
Ringo.
at
Time
their
to go,
own
let's go.
19-yard line. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit if they give up a touchdown.
And up to the 35
Gotta go,
before
in and out,
they're
let's
able
go.
to knock him down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground
14,
game to take some
14,
pressure
run it.
off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Gun. Try easy.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the tight end Dixon left side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this.
Let's go get it, baby.
Line
Let's
of
go up.
scrimmage, the 37
14,
on
14,
1st and
run it.
10.
Right. Strong right.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
95.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he comes back with one complete. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. He's to the 10. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. J.D. McKissick, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Janikowski adds the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Out to kick is Janikowski.
Number 84, the deep return man.
Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Hey, we got 3 down.
2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger once more. Flush to his right, and it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And the Steelers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Roethlisberger eluding the pressure right. And that is caught. He's got his running back downfield.
Here we go.
And out across midfield down to the 45. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. This is caught by Antonio Brown. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Numbers-wise, another great season for Brown. Over 100 catches, nearly 1,300 yards. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. It's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Roethlisberger escaping the pressure right. He's got it. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
Hey.
Ben to throw again. That will be caught by James. The big tight end has a Steeler touchdown. Jesse James as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point now by Boswell. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10.
14, Friday. Start! Green 80! 18.
Watch 98. Watch 98. 98's the mic.
Bang out. Bam.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down.
Check 25.
He's got it, complete, Mike Davis. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A very solid gain of 27.
Gain on the play.
Shotgun. Play easy. Check 51. 14.
Watch 98. Watch 98. 98's the mic. Watch the curl. Watch the curls.
Check 50.
Watch twists.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. It's caught at the 10. And now they are knocking on the door inside Pittsburgh's 10. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Try it. Green 80. Spread left, spread left.
Target, target.
Punch left, punch left.
Slam.
Tempo, tempo.
Watch 98. Watch 98. 98's the mic.
Second and 10 now. Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And it's third down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
14, 14. Try it. Wide 90.
Watch 98. Watch 98. 98's the mic.
Zebra, zebra.
Rabbit, rabbit.
Try it.
To throw on third down, Wilson. And he's got his target. That's Moore. It's a foot race. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
14, 14. Find it.
It's a big play on third down for the Seahawks. 52 yards.
Be alert, be alert.
Turn up. Kill. Turn up.
Green 80, cut.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
Green 80.
Find him.
Shift.
Green 80, cut.
Second and 10. It's Wilson again. Completes it to Dixon. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into a huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Hard throw, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now? Those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. So second and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
Kings.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Flushed out right. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flipped field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald.
Let's go.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll get this down only to the 18.
Let's go.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Mike 51.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. His throw incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target, and it's 3rd down.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Now Wilson on 1st down. This complete to Larkin. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Come on, in and out, come on.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Now they go screen, it's complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a 6-yard loss on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Hey, we are 12.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4.
We still have great seats available for all of our upcoming home games.
Let's go get another one. Come on. Man left. Even. 4 down. Even. 18. Watch that. Tempo. 95. Whip. Watch the whip. Let's go, 14. Watch 98. Watch 98. 98's the line.
Wilson will throw again. It's caught right side. Dixon. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Ed Dixon, 43 yards. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. So they get the score still down. The bottom line is they kept themselves in the game.
They did keep hope alive, Brandon. That's exactly what they did. Now they've got to deliver and finish things off.
Janikowski good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now out come the Steelers. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. Because to me, he's got to take over right now by word, pumping his team up, And then, of course, by deed with his play. My school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
James has got it, complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A gain of 6 there on first.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Roethlisberger will throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. After the interception, here's Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. And now running right through it. A big play there on the catch and run. 65 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
19.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
This will be caught at about the 6. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
3 down.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game.
4 down.
Grenading!
They'll try to run with Carson. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank about this one. This isn't even a decision as far as I'm concerned. They have to go for it here. Field goal does you almost no good as time's running out in the game. If you want to win, you have to be aggressive here.
Here's the sneak with Wilson, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson taking it in. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And oh, he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. Out to kick is Janikowski.
Number 84, the deep return man.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Steelers' offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, That does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Okay, we got four. We got four. Let's go, fellas. We got 4 down. Let's go.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
4 down.
They'll try and run some clock now with Bell. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Double tight. 4 down.
Set. 180.
Check three.
Eight.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike.
Five.
Oh, Roethlisberger going to throw. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. The offense on 3rd down tonight, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Now it's Connor. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a gain of 7, and that should just about do it.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
AB.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Throwing the out route and complete. That's McDonald. 20. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They come up in an offset eye. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Oh, yeah.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff. His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very